Hey guys, hey, 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 hey. Okay, now, sorry I just got kicked off because of the weather, I guess. You guys ready for this? And I don't ever do theories. But this is not a theory. This is a provable time, distance. Everybody keeps forgetting about the Highland Street. Okay. So I'm gonna give people a chance to get in. How do I want to word this? Again, I don't know. There's a storm coming through, so I don't know if I got kicked off because of a storm or what. So 15 still in the other video. Just message them and tell them to close down their feed and then just come back. Because you guys aren't ready for this explosion right here. We're about to talk about the response time of the Aliquippa Police Department. The response time of the Aliquippa Police Department. This is record response time for them. The response time for Aliquippa Police. I'm gonna give you guys a second. I want to just reenact one more thing because I really want to hit home on this. That SUV is on camera at 11:35 and 59 seconds. I want you guys to play devil's advocate with me. See, 11, 15, 35, 59 seconds. Just so people could understand that maybe a little bit better. Okay. Okay. You guys be the judge of this, or the jury rather. I don't know why it's showing that I'm still alive over there, because you wanna know why? Because people hate that I'm a conspiracy theorist and they do not want the truth coming out. They cannot have the truth coming out. That's why they boot me off so often. Okay. So the second part here is the response time of the Aliquippa Police Department, which is stellar. Yeah, of course. What are you gonna watch? YouTube. Okay, what are you gonna watch me on YouTube? I know I have a show going right now. Are you gonna watch me on the big screen? No? Am I boring? Okay. No, we're missing a few. Oh, we're missing a few? Okay, I'll wait here. Oh, I'm good at being devils. Perfect. Okay. We all have to agree. You have to pick. And you guys can pick, and I'll go with what you want. I've never committed a murder in my life. Don't plan on it. But I think we can all agree that if the shells are all around the body, that nobody took the time to pick up the shells. Okay? Obviously, so it would be like nobody took the time to pick up the shells. So since all the shells were there and whoever did this didn't take the time to pick them up. Um, Brandon Wexler is getting to that body. It's there's no other, I mean, he didn't go up the street on Keel and then make a right on Highland and go some other crazy way. Like, this is the only way he went because he is seen on that camera on 319, okay? And he's seen on that camera by 11:36 and some change. I believe that if he is being completely honest, that he saw this body, then it is without a doubt, if he is not lying, that I 100% will stand by this statement, this next statement that I say. And I can't believe I'm going to admit this because, you know, whatever. Whoever was driving that SUV, crossed and saw that body too. Otherwise, it's not possible. It's like you can't have it both ways. You can't say that Brandon Wexler saw the body and not that person in that SUV. And then if you want to say that the person in the SUV did it, well, because remember, all they showed in the clips that I saw, there was not like two cousins wasn't a rolling camera. But I would love to know what other vehicles were coming and going, even just like 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, and I wasn't an investigator on the case, so I didn't get to see that stuff. But let's say that there's nobody on the ground. The amount of time that it would take for you to get from Jones Street, where he was, to where he was on that camera on the corner of Keel and Franklin Avenue, it is 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So you have to subtract 3 minutes from 11:36, just for easy math. That means you started driving your vehicle to go down there at 11:33. But her mom didn't see you. Okay, so you had to leave earlier than that, right? So then that's where it comes into how long do you think this crime would have happened? Or could she have seen you because she's on the camera at 11:31 at 3:19? You think that's what it was? I'm just saying, nobody testified to seeing Sheldon's vehicle, Sheldon, Pugh. Do you guys understand this? Like, nobody's seen him. Nobody's seen this. All this traffic, no one's seen the crime. So here's your devil's lettuce over here, Mod Squad. Let's throw out everybody's statements. Throw them out. Let's go based on math. And if it takes 3 minutes to drive that vehicle from that house down to where it was seen on camera, if that's a 3-minute trip, 11:33, you're arriving at 11:36. And I'm just doing that for easy math versus doing 11:35 and 59 seconds, okay? And now, again, take out Brandon Wexler's, anything he said, go based on math. He's seen on camera pulling at 11:34 and, 20 some seconds, 10 or 20 seconds.
Things.
Yeah, what do you want?
I need one of these.
Yeah, you want one of these? What color?
Oh, any color. Green or blue.
You want this one?
Yeah. 11.
Here, you can have all, you want this whole stack? You can have this whole stack. You want these?
Yeah.
Here, you can have this. I'll give you that one. You want all of them?
No.
Okay, just use what you want. I just don't understand how there's such a small time frame for this to happen and supposedly no one saw anything. I like math. Math doesn't lie like people. Yeah, facts don't lie. So, again, we're taking out everybody's statements. Everybody's statements. And we're just physically going to back up Sheldon's vehicle. Back it up. So 11:36, you gotta go back. Now we're till 11:35 is at the bend.
Find a little pen.
Huh?
Where could I find a little pen?
You want a pen?
Yeah.
Here. You want this kind? Here, there you go. Jexie, what are you watching? What is that? Is it bad?
No.
Okay. So we're backing him up, right?
Dead people playing right now.
And you're right around here. If you're just driving, nothing else is going on. Okay? If you've got like 50 seconds, it depends on how fast you're going, but you're gonna be right in this area. Okay, now check this out. Again, backing Sheldon at 11:36. He's down there. Back him up a minute. He is over there at 11:36. Let's back him up a minute. Do you guys see that? 11:36, back him up a minute. 11:36, back him up a minute. So everybody see there, this is the only path you could take. Okay? Now, unless those 20 seconds, and guess who they're gonna favor? They're gonna favor Sheldon in his SUV, if that is in fact him. They're gonna favor that because if he was turning here at 11:34 and
They have some a lot of cars.
42 seconds, yeah, you can have whatever you want. I just need these two. Let's say it was 11:34 and 34 seconds. That's gonna put him to this spot even sooner.
We can make traffic.
But there's just no way you're not passing each other, okay? Unless Sheldon is, like I said, right here on this street because he's coming up from around here, okay? And if he would have right there, but from right there, that little mix-up right there, that is not 1 minute from there to there. That's the only thing that doesn't make sense is that, but if it was 11:34 in 50 seconds that it was, then you have to look at it as it's basically 11:35. And he was flying up that hill, and this is when my new theory is going to come true right here, which is he flew up that hill after seeing that body, and then Sheldon is turning here after flying there, and then is coming down, and Sheldon then did the same thing because then he sees the body, holy shit, and gets the hell out of there because he doesn't want to get blamed either. But any way you slice and dice it is if these two cars do not pass each other at any point, it's because Sheldon isn't even on the hill yet. Otherwise, you're gonna pass him. It's impossible not to. The only way that he couldn't is if he would have still been right here on Williams, waiting to turn, okay? And he being past it. And guess what they also did with that camera that they did there? Remember, that was the camera that was off. And they said it was off 28 minutes. And I'm over here like, 28 minutes? Where'd you come up with 28 minutes? You need some traffic? Yeah, go ahead, take the cars. How many do you need? They're all in the tubs. Actually, they're right here, baby. There's that suitcase there, too. Okay. And then, guys, when did this crime happen? You know, we're talking about guys just like passing each other. Well, in order to shoot somebody, and the manner that it was done, nobody was in a vehicle, so he's out of his vehicle. Mommy, he just wants to, yeah, we're just, you know. This video only has 2 thumbs up because we were on a totally different spread. Are we blasting our stuff now, babe? So people are either scared or involved. It's not possible that so many saw flipping nothing. Now, ready for this? Pew leaves on a walk. Pew is picked up in a vehicle. Sheldon lives by the code. They don't like, nobody wants to tell on anybody. No one wants to say anything. Nobody wants to, you know.
All right, so we're going to put them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. All right, now we're going to go to the blue team. And you know what? I think I'm just going to do a...
If that is, in fact, Sheldon's vehicle, whose ever vehicle, they would have seen. Jax, can you turn that down? Was the camera that was off for 28 minutes? It was, when I say it was off, it was like off in time. And that camera is everything in this case. And it originally showed it was like that stuff was happening like 11:56. 12:02, and then they were just looking at everything. They're like, wait a second, but the 911 call came in at this time, and then, you know, 2 cousins has them on camera, like those, like, you know, Brandon Wex are turning in at this time, at 11:34. So then, how can he, you know, at 11:30? This is what they're saying. At 11:34, if he's seen on 2 cousins' camera, 11:34, then how come he is not on that Keel Street camera? Why is it showing it at like literally it was 30 minutes. It was like 12:04. And they're like, it doesn't take 30 minutes to get from 2 cousins. But then think about it. I don't know, if you commit a murder, it might. But then they're saying the 911 call came in at this time. Well, if everything was staged, I mean, I'm saying everything was on point until they get to that 319 Keel Street camera where the times just totally are so off. And I do think that the Keel Street camera, the 319 one, is off, but it's very weird. 28 minutes, how they came up with that. I would like to look into that again. But that camera is everything with with a timeline. And in terms of when Brandon Wexler would have turned from down at two cousins, but at least we can go off of the two cousins, and that was 11:34 and some change, and we're going to go off of Jeter's and him being there at 11:35 and 59 seconds. It is then virtually impossible for those two not to have crossed paths. And if they didn't, it's literally because he was still on Williams, which then, if he's still on Williams, how did he see a body? And I'm saying that I agree that he did, but it wasn't because of Sheldon, because if people think that Pugh was riding with Sheldon, that body could have been there yet, because Sheldon's not even at that point yet. And the defense did not do this at all to show this and to really hone in on this timeline, because it would, without a doubt, then show, if you're a jury member now, okay, Sheldon's not even there yet, so how is there a dead body there? How about that? Great question there, Mod Squad. Great question. I wonder what the resident at 319 has to say about the 28-minute discrepancy. They would have had to have noticed that at some point in the past. I think it would depend on how recent your camera is. This is so much better than the Chris Watson. It's way better than Chris Watson. This is actually a case. People are not always... Carly, that's not the point. I have no problem that he didn't stop. No problem with that. Because actually what he said. So let's go back to that. Let's go back to what Brandon said. His statement is, I turned on Keogh Street, I'm coming up, I slammed my brakes because there's a body. Then the cop says to him, okay, did you get out of your vehicle? No. Actually, they said in this order. He said, I came to a body. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if there was still somebody there, somebody around. So then I swore, then I go around and I get out of there. And then the cop says, did you get out of your car? No. Okay. Then he continues, and he's like, yeah, then I go up the hill, I get to my friend's house, I tell them, hey, I just came across a body, I think somebody's been shot, and then the cop interrupts and says, how do you know that somebody was shot if you didn't get out of the car? How do you know what happened to that person? Drug overdose, drunk, hit by a car, fight. Then, not only do you not get out of the car, you tell this to your friends, and your friends are like, we just heard gunshots, muffled gunshots. Where were you coming from? Which way did you come here? Up Keel. Come on, we have to go, is what he's saying. He's like, come on, we have to go. We have to call the cops. We gotta get help. We have to get help. Still, he doesn't call 911, even from seeing the body right when he approached it. Doesn't call 911. Then the two people that get in his vehicle don't call 911. Then they drive back down into a possible fire zone. Like, he said he left there because he thought that the person could still be there that did this. And then the cop said, well, did you see any cars? Did you see any people? And he says, no, I didn't see anything. Nobody was around. So you didn't see this SUV. So you didn't see the crime. And in the courtroom, I was not there for his physical testimony in the courtroom. This is his interview. But if I'm the defense attorney for Sheldon Jeter Jr. and I have Brandon on the stand, okay, this is going to be a long process because something is off here. Because you drilled my client, police, that he supposedly says and makes a phone call and says, oh, they're looking for Pew. Pew's been shot. That's what this police officer says, that he made this comment. He's like, I didn't tell you. Why are you saying that Pew was shot? We didn't tell you that Pew was shot. Why do you think that? And that's what they were nailing him about. That's their probable cause. Meanwhile, Sheldon's mom at 11:48 p.m. called Sheldon after hearing those gunshots, because that's what they've been doing ever since the Del Tondo case. You know, you hear gunshots, you call your kids and you see, hey, oh my gosh, okay, you're alive. I just talked to you. Hey, where are you? Okay. Well, we just heard gunshots. We're up over here, blah, blah, blah. All right, good, you're home. Okay. That was in his phone records. He told the cops about it that night. So if you're going to drill Sheldon about making a comment about why he thought he was shot when the cops said, well, we didn't tell you that, then why aren't you drilling Brandon Wexler over the fact that why would you leave, not call 911, neither would your friends, and which was a friend and a dad, the dad of the friend. Nobody calls 911, but yet, hey, let's just drive back down there and possibly get shot. What? What? Explain that to me. And you want me as a jury member to be like, I mean, I could get this. I didn't stop. Holy shit, I got the hell out of there because I didn't know what was going on. But then I call. So. That's just me spying. You would call 911. You would say, there's a body in the middle of the road. I don't know what's going on, but I'm scared. Like, you would say something, right? Are you having a traffic jam over there? Why don't, oh man. You need to put some people out there. This is my baby. He's my world. We're going to the water park tomorrow. We always usually try to do that on Fridays. So, that they are afraid of someone whomever still being there. Crystal Cute, absolutely. You're afraid of somebody supposedly being there. Get it. That's fine. I didn't get out of the car because I thought somebody was still around. But why would you think that? Why would you think that this man is dead due to somebody hurting him unless you did get out of the car and unless you stood over the body and unless you looked and saw gunshots or not, you know, shell casings or I mean, this is called logic and reasoning. When you get asked a question and you give an answer, and then your answer has to do with, if you're going to assume something, there's a reason for it. And if a police officer is going to go, like this police officer did, go crazy over what Sheldon said at 3 o'clock in the morning, coming up out of a sleep, then explain to me how your gun. So it was like a shooting, and then Brandon arrives. How does Brandon not see anything? Because then also think about this is that the shooting had to happen before obviously Brandon got there, but you don't see anything. It's just it's not possible with the SUV. You would have crossed paths, and if you didn't, and the SUV is Sheldon's, and Pugh's supposed to be with him, then there would be no body there yet because he's still on William Street. You can't have it both ways. You either saw the motherfucker or he wasn't there yet, which means there's no body there yet, unless there is a body, because when Pugh walked off, 1 or 2 or 3 possibly dudes snatched him up, put him in a car. Where's our money? You said you had the money. Where's the money? Oh, you don't got it? Okay. And then popped his ass. And did they reverse around? I mean, how'd they go out of there? I have no idea. But then Sheldon, that SUV though, would have, whoever was in it, if you were thinking it's Sheldon, would have passed that body as well. Both would have passed that body. If Brandon Wexler's telling the truth. And when you do all of this in the courtroom and you're showing the jury reasonable doubt out the ass, like, this is impossible. It's the timing is physically impossible. Brandon, you do not remember somebody standing outside while you're driving and you slam on your brakes, you don't see an SUV there, you don't see somebody with a gun there? No, I don't see anybody. No one's around. Did a police officer get you to change your testimony about seeing a body there? Did you do it? You were right there. Your friends are testifying. They hear gunshots, and then you arrive and you tell them that you came across a body. Brandon, are you sure that you didn't commit that murder? And then go up there and tell your friends that you just came across a body? And we gotta go get help. So then you're now acting like you were a witness to a crime, but meanwhile you committed the crime. I mean, that's how you would go to town on something like that. Because it's... Brandon, aren't you really familiar with firearms? Brandon, did you do any tests? Did they check your car for, blood? No. I mean, how is a police officer, when you hear the fact of these witness statements at 1:24 in the morning, right after this happened, you're hearing this, you guys think that they should get in a car as police officers and let's go get this death notice and let's beeline it to Jeter's? Meanwhile, you have a scene to process, okay? And you have 4 people that are down there that are telling you very valuable things, and you don't question it. How many times did you question these people? Did you call Brandon Wexler back into the station at any point in time? Did you call any one of those witnesses back at any point in time to come back down to the station? How, as a defense attorney, how aren't you eating this man alive on the stand? Make somebody, they want to know, like people have been saying, well, all the jury wants to know is that if Sheldon didn't do it, who did? Well, first of all, that's not the defense's job. But if that's truly how you think the jury thinks, then I would have went to town on Brandon Wexler. And they would have been like, objection, you're badgering the witness.
Okay, now I don't know what's going to happen. All right, they shot one of the blocks. They're moving up. Kobe! Oh, Kobe.
Exactly, Crystal Q. That's exactly. You don't say that he was shot and you were scared because you didn't know if the person was still around. But let me just speed up there. Let me get my... let me tell, we have to go back down there. You just left there because you didn't want to be there, but we have to go back down there? What? That does not even make sense. I mean, you go back down there because you want to be nosy, right? But still, they didn't even call 911 yet. Like, here, we'll come back down there once we know the cops are there. I could see that. Hey, I'll come back down there once I know the cops are there. That's what you would say. I got out of there. I didn't know what was going on, but I will come right back down as soon as I know that you guys are on scene. I'm not going down there until I know there's a cop down there. That sounds like a really reasonable thing to say. But not like saying we need to call for help. We have to come on. We have to go help. There's a guy down there. I think he's dead. Blah blah blah. Whatever he's saying. And 3 people have 3 different cell phones, and none of them call 911. And yes, this does happen all within minutes. But I'll tell you why I wouldn't call 911. There's only one reason I wouldn't call 911 is if I really didn't see a body. I wouldn't call 911 if I didn't see a body. If I actually was just coming up that hill and I didn't see a body, and then when I get to my friend's house and they say, where were you coming from? Did you hear those gunshots? Where were you coming from? Did you hear those gunshots? What? I was coming up heel. Did you didn't hear those gunshots? No. Or, I mean, what? Let's go check it out. I'm telling you, you must have just missed it. Like, a couple minutes ago, there was a bunch of gunshots. You didn't see anything? Well, let's go check it out. That is what you would do and why you wouldn't call 911 yet, because you don't know what has happened yet. That's the only logical reason that you wouldn't call 911 yet. If you already know somebody, if I hear a big bang outside my house, like I did the other, like 3 months ago, this dude was drunk, drove his car, like legit didn't stop at the stop sign, and just ran into this guy's house. And I hear, I'm like, oh my God. I come outside, and no joke, his truck is just in this house. And of course, my immediate reaction, I started laughing because I was like, this isn't really happening. How did he run into this house? And then I looked at it and I was like, he was coming from that other street, and it's a stop sign. And if you don't stop and you just keep going, yeah, you would run into that house. But we're all outside, as obviously it was so loud, and I was about to call 911, you know? And the reason I didn't is because all these other people were saying, like, yeah, we already called. Lana runs towards Big Bangs. I know, I looked out my window and I saw a guy ran his truck into her house. And I was like, what is going on? It was like midnight. It was midnight. Yes, and I was like video recording. Then I just started video recording. He was stuck under his truck, like in this house, stuck, like he was under, like he was all up in this like 250. And I'm just like out there recording. But at first I was gonna call the police, but they'd already called. But like, it was a known car accident. Yeah, he survived. He got out of there. He's like, what y'all looking at? And I'm like, motherfucker's drunk as shit. He was gone. They were gonna life flight him, but they had to saw him to get out. Not him, but they had to like basically destroy his vehicle to get him physically back out. It was like a 2-hour process. Yeah.
Where's the Joker guy?
Which guy? What Joker guy?
The Joker is so broken.
Oh, he's upstairs.
Where?
No. Is he underneath? I started putting guys underneath. If he's not underneath, then he's upstairs.
I started putting guys underneath.
Like underneath the table. Is he underneath there?
Why?
Baby, because I was cleaning up. What do you mean? You got figures all over here.
There's no guys under there.
There's no guys? I always run towards the bangs. Come on now. True story too on this. The cops get there so quick, like super quick.
Hey, where's the Joker?
Baby, he's got to be upstairs then. Don't you think? Okay. I was straight till I saw you, lady. That's what they all say there, Miss Smith. It's just something about my swag.
There's gonna be a few right behind the
Oh yeah,
line.
record time.
Blue has a little
Record time.
extra destructive
Uh,
power. I'm not sure what happened to these guys.
You know,
Body's flying backwards. And thinking
for them to get there
they do.
in like a minute and 30 seconds from, you know, the call. Kudos to the Alico Police Department. And I would love to know the path that this car drove to get to Keel Street. Would love it. Now there's rumor out there, and when I say rumor, I've been pretty right though, that I would love to know, love it, love to know if that body was moved. I'm gonna I have to start working some extra stripping shifts so I can hire my own expert witness for. I would like to take a little peek at, you know, I'm gonna have to do like a, because a couple of the episodes that I'm gonna be doing coming up, they're gonna be graphic. They're like reenactments that just like to show you guys, like entry wounds and the trajectory of the like of how everything would have had to happen. And then if the body was moved, if that's where, you know, everything took place, what did the defense go through to just make sure that the body was where it was and not ever moved? What, you know, what measures did they take to double and triple check that? Also the 28 minutes. I mean, there's just so many things. How did they get there so quick? Did they already know about it? They were just out patrolling, I guess. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Very quick response time for them. Very quick. I mean, the police station is right over there. That should even show you just how quickly you can get there. So, like, you know, the two cousins camera should have the police coming if they were coming that way. It should show if they didn't come that way, Highland. I mean, there's and then five to six between PSP and Alabama officers are at Orchard Street to deliver a death notice. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That is not normal. And Jeter's bedroom, his main window overlooks the street. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, when his grandfather was like, "Hey, come down here," whatever, he, like, peeking out that window, you're gonna see the cops there. You're gonna see all the cars. Especially if, you know, however his grandfather called up like, "Hey, the police are here." Well, let's all be honest. Don't we all look out and see, look first? I'm gonna look out my window. Who's here? Oh, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, and then you're gonna go down there. Cooter Brown. I'm not looking into any cases. I'm looking into, what do you mean, Cooter Brown? Got my hands pretty much fucking full right now, buddy. Right now, we got a guy that was just convicted of first-degree murder, and this is anything but first-degree murder and anything but an open and shut closed case like they want to make it. Sneak peek. Michelle Smith wants a sneak peek. She missed her chance about a month ago, or however long ago it's been. I do always have my hands full. You should see my new piece. He went to, he does have a military, I mean, he was definitely doing something at some point. I was trying. Lana isn't scared of anything. Damn right. I'm in Miami, Trick. Oh, if you guys had any idea about my DMs, it goes down the DMs. Let's see. And I don't want to ever call somebody a liar with like what Brandon saw or didn't see. I'm saying we should really, really listen to what he's saying though. And if he's saying what he's saying, I think we should really consider the fact that, okay, Brandon, are you sure there was a body there? Okay, well, let's back up Jeter's vehicle. And then let's back up your vehicle. But he didn't see him yet. Is there a chance that he was still on William Street? Because then that means he wasn't even to the body yet. And the answer to that is absolutely yes. Because from the top of William Street to Two Cousins camera is like right around that minute. And that's when he was there at, so if you back, and I have all this footage. I have to figure out a way that I'm going to show it to you guys because I did all these reenactments with timing. I did his whole 19 minutes leaving the house at 11:10 and getting back there at 11:39. I did it all. And the big thing is that it doesn't take you 9 minutes to get to obviously the Dollar General. The Dollar General doesn't take you 9 minutes, it takes you 2. So he had to go somewhere first, or it's not his vehicle. And then if that it's also his vehicle that you're claiming that's coming out of Two Cousins at 11:36, he literally makes it home and in his driveway in 3 minutes and 11 seconds or 3 minutes and 33 seconds or something like that. So why is that bitch keep emailing me?
And then I've got these 3 artillery pieces, which I'm gonna put back here. Alright. And look, I've got different, we've got fast forward functionality here. So here's the arm.
Patty, you're fine. You can be in my DMs.
These are very slow going.
I hope the new piece is a Glock.
Casualties, but I'm also expecting a victory.
She's definitely a pistol.
Bad word!
Pistol!
Piss!
No, I didn't say piss. I said pistol.
Piss!
I didn't say piss. Jack said I said a bad word. Piss.
Certain number of shots. It's not like other units like these cannons, which can take a lot of shots. And in fact, all I have are these artillery.
Wait.
I actually
Pretty please tell me you know WTF happened in 2019 with Sheldon. His mom threatened folks to get the truth, so did you? That feels important. Also, it wasn't a 2018 Chevy Traverse, right? 2018 Traverse? No, I don't think it was a 2018. I believe it was a 2014 Traverse. 2014, 2016, something like that. It wasn't a new Traverse. It had some dings in it. Uh,
as well.
Jessica, I don't know what you're asking though.
I think he's going back to the same. He managed to take this fortress in the middle. So I need to keep an eye on forts, but I'm still having a hard time getting this fight. I like the challenge. You can definitely see how messy
I think it.
you know, setting up
I think if you do simple math, simple time, distance, travel, it's very clear that,
I think some snipers would do good.
again, I'm not sitting here saying Brandon did not see a body. I'm saying if that is the case, then you have to look at
To not lose infantry. Like my entire army got wiped out.
where his vehicle, like what time his vehicle was there. And we already know because we see Sheldon on camera at 11:35 and 59 seconds. In order to get to that point, you had to drive there. So you have to back him up. And as you're backing up his vehicle, you're backing up time. So you're backing up time and backing up the vehicle to get back to a certain point, which was where the body is. And okay, now you have to commit this murder. And no one supposedly sees it. Nobody calls in saying they heard gunshots. They calls to the police to say gunshots. That was never, nobody was dispatched for gunshots. But the neighbor said that they heard muffled gunshots a few minutes before Brandon Wexler arrives at their house. What? How is he not prime suspect number one? Because especially if he's saying he didn't see anybody else around there, so it's not like he's coughing up Sheldon. He didn't.
Science departments or like, you know, something like that. Get a few more snipers.
And it's, I don't think it has anything to do with Brandon not wanting to talk because he's afraid. If that was the case, though, it has nothing to do with Sheldon. He might be saying something else because of what he really did see, and maybe it involved.
And then once they're done, we will deploy this. I'm gonna take this one.
Damn, when did we leave the strip club?
Produce out of two.
Never.
Army of the Republic.
When Sheldon was found on the ground, yeah, what about that incident?
Let's get some reserves up and running. Now we can also have battles on the field of play.
The cops have been messing with Sheldon
The fort
since, like, before that.
It's even more costly to lose a battle.
Um,
One thing I want to do is I want these guys up closer.
this should have never passed.
Closer, actually. Let's see, maybe even too far away. And I'm thinking of putting them on.
This should have never passed a preliminary hearing, if you want my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, Mandy, we went to the strip club yesterday. You missed it.
So I'm hoping that that'll
Took my viewers to the strip club.
rocket artillery funnel.
I will roll and stroll, and I won't strip, but
These guys
we detoured it to the strip club yesterday.
in charge.
The
Their goal is to attract the most attention. We've got snipers. All right, now
I'm telling you, a huge part of this is 319 Keel Street camera, because
I want to lose them if I don't have to.
how do I want to say this?
Put my force in two. They are still the meat and potatoes in the army.
Okay.
Guys, so our second attempt at conquest. Ooh,
The way that people were just identifying their vehicles and the timestamps is that they showed them the clip and said, "Is this your car coming?" Yeah, that's mine.
just don't do as
Okay.
these wooden blocks anymore.
So that's how everything was being
Sling of the mortars. Oh man, this could be. There it is. That's a victory.
like
The Gatling gun, I think, got destroyed by friendly fire. That was kind of expensive. That block.
named, I guess you could say.
There is one guy left.
They showed them the footage of stuff. Okay, is that your vehicle? Yep, that's my vehicle. Okay, and that's when I turn. Yep. Now, normally you're able, and then they took Brandon Wexler back to Sheets, which was in Rochester, and they have him on, and he is leaving there at 11:23. So it does, it lines up.
I lost about 10 line infantry. Didn't lose any snipers. I lost
Make sure it's a high end.
these guys. These guys were very, very effective. I'm curious if all the forts are the same or if they kind of
Mandy, you think I would take you to a dive? Girl, come on.
like tier 1
I got some standards. They're pretty high too. They're actually really high.
really, really cool. This is a really, really cool way to do this. Now, can I at a time.
Mandy, you're silly. Mandy!
So now I've got 2 armies here, or rather 2 forts. My next one is going to be, I guess I want to take these 2 if I can. I'm not sure if forts produce more money, but it'd be cool, maybe like a little number indicator popping up. I mean,
Crystal, oh yeah.
+10
We're going boating on Saturday.
indication of what it
We're
is
going out on Saturday.
what each territory's doing.
We might even do dinner tomorrow night. I don't know. I'm pretty busy though.
Oh my gosh, Blue's making a serious move. They're moving on 2 forts simultaneously. Alright, Blue is not joking around. Alright, the yellow gun was good and all. And I like how some things, we did
Mandy, see, I bet you the last time you were there, they probably thought you were. They probably offered you a job.
effective.
Wow, who knew the Traverse came out in 2009? Mic drop, mama, welcome, love it.
Blue,
Um,
unstoppable. See, that first battle was very costly.
she actually didn't even care about the boating part.
Wait,
She's just winning up me.
move now? I can't tell. I can't tell. I guess we can check diplomacy. I could have
It's hard to refuse boating though, come on.
battle potentially. Well, Blue just
I think that we have to look past the fact that the cops didn't do their job because they're never going to do their job.
I think unless he's just
They're never going to do their job in Alcoa, right?
I come in
So that's a known thing. So that even means more so that you have to take the discovery and you have to do a deep dive. Because if you ever think that Alcoa police are going to do their job, they're not. And the more I've been researching, and I'm going to just, this is just blunt. This is the truth. It's not, people think that they're corrupt. People think that there's all this corruption. You guys, they're just flat out fucking stupid. There's a difference. You know, they're not doing things by the book. They're having shortcut, whatever you want to call it, they're not doing it. And it's messing up investigations. And it's not because they're trying to cover up stuff right now. That's not what the case is, in my opinion. In my opinion, you're interviewing a guy. And Al Copa wasn't even just in on this. Where's the PSP? Where are they? Like, you guys know how to, why would you have anybody drive that vehicle instead of it just getting towed? What are you doing? Like, you know that. You like, and would you want any problems in this investigation? Like, no, like you just, and you hear this stuff all the time. Hey, we got to play this one by the book because we're not letting this motherfucker walk, or we're like, we have this, don't fuck it up. You hear that all the time when people talk like that. So, but that's, there are inept people. You know, there's nothing wrong, okay, with working at McDonald's, but people on the Alcoa Police Department were working at McDonald's and now they're police officers. That's fact. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with that, but working at McDonald's, but just like you would think that, you know, the type of person that it takes to be a police officer, I would think wouldn't even be able to work at McDonald's because it is not nowhere near mentally stimulating enough and to, you know, your logic and reasoning skills and, you know, your intuition and, they're just totally on 2 different spectrums. And I'm not talking about getting a job at 14 or 15 or 16 at McDonald's. That's all I'm talking about.
I am at war with green and nobody else, so I guess I could take that one over there. After I take this, I've got this one guy just capturing areas. Any of green's conquest.
Jessica, it's very close to home. Very close.
And now I'm gonna send this army that is mustering here.
You just gotta be,
What other units? I guess we want.
you gotta know when to lay the fire grounds. You gotta know when to lay the bombshells.
Well, let's see. Yeah, they're not.
Sometimes you just gotta let some people just do stuff like on their own in terms of blowing up and imploding. Hence, creators of YouTube.
Snipers. I think ideally I want like 3, like 4
You
plus
are-
snipers in each army. Alright, so I need to make sure.
Um,
It's saying I can't deploy this army. But I
The only thing he didn't answer to the police when questioned during Rachel were questions about his mom and her boyfriend. And he also didn't answer, he wasn't going to give up names of the people that he was driving home that night of Rachel. He didn't want to give up names like that. He wasn't going to like give their names up at that point. Again, he wasn't under any type of arrest or anything like that, but Crystal Q, stop dirty deleting. What? She's not dirty deleting. It's not pure no, it's not pure incompetency. That's because then they have to start covering up for their for their shiz. So it's like, but you have to remove Aliquippa police for this because yes, they were the first people there, but then within 10 minutes they had to call the Pennsylvania State Police, and they were there. Okay, and then the Pennsylvania State Police, it's in the reports, they are the primary. They are the primary to this case. Why would an Aliquippa police officer get in the vehicle that belonged to Sheldon on a night that they think that this is for evidence, and why would you get in it? Why would you get in that vehicle? Why are you processing Orchard Street like it's a crime scene almost, but getting the hell up out of Keel Street where there was actually a supposed crime? That's where it was committed. You know?
Well, I tell you what, I think it might be time to start again. I don't know, like I already see. I mean, I could always make. Oh, I can't. Oh, really? I thought I was able to make peace with them. Now they're just snatching on my territory. I wonder what he left in the fort. I'm gonna deploy a scout force. Oh my God.
No, the defense didn't ask for a change of venue, but that's not on his current defense team. It's actually on his first attorney, who's a good attorney, very good attorney.
They got freaking, oh my God. Yeah, these green forts are crazy strong. Look at that. And you know, let's just speed up. Scout? Oh wait. I guess I forfeited that soldier. I didn't put him on the battlefield. That's another thing.
Too legit. What are you doing, Too Legit? Go back and watch the reenactment. It's all right there, and now it's questionable if Sheldon wasn't even to that point of where, based on Brandon Wexler's testimony and interview, saying he did not see Sheldon anywhere, he did not see his vehicle. So based off of that and him saying that there was a body, now it is plausible that Sheldon was on William Street still when he got to that body. So that means Sheldon wouldn't have even been to the body yet, where the body was. Means what? Sheldon couldn't have committed the crime because he was already dead. That's what that means. And narrowing down the 319 Keel Street camera to its exact time and seconds, but regardless, without that, you still have it on the two cousins. I'm about to be done right now. What are we gonna go do?
When are you gonna boil this?
Oh, I have to boil those to pop those in there.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, go ahead and thumbs up this, like that new channel,
Do it right now.
and we're gonna go play. You guys all rock. Monday night, 9 p.m. I'm dropping bombs. And it has everything to do with the Rachel Altondo case, and this case, and the town. It's time. You don't want to miss that episode. See you guys soon.